Hello and welcome to Hard Copy from our channel's television studios in Abuja. I'm Kayla Nagwa. Food insecurity and climate change are issues we're dealing with as a country. To be honest, genetically modified organisms, GMOs, are being touted as part of the solution. With our rapidly growing population and food production challenges, adopting GMOs has offended the general sensibilities of a lot of Nigerians. And need to balance potential agricultural gains with public concern over health, environmental safety, and regulatory oversight has become necessary. Tonight, we expand the GMO conversation. When we had the livestock minister here, he said it was important to get the National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency to help dispel some of the myths and misinformation about genetically modified organisms in Nigeria. The Director General of NAFDAC on our sister program, Sunrise Daily, stirred the pot when she changed her stance on GMOs, declaring support for it. And today, we want to understand where we are as a country on this conversation. What kinds of regulation are in place? Are there possible side effects to consuming GMOs? And if there are, who's checking this? How do we regulate GMOs in local markets, for instance? How much of it do we have in our current food products? Are farms being educated on how to use GMOs? How has this impacted the agricultural sector? Are we able to grow and export more food crops as a result of GMO use? I have questions, as I'm sure you do. And joining us tonight on Hard Copy is the man with the answers we seek, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa. Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you, Kayla.
Just so we can understand what your agency actually does, because I see biotech in a lot of agencies in Nigeria. Could you break down for us exactly what your agency is focused on?
Well, thank you very much for this fundamental question, which I think everyone in Nigeria deserves to know. National Biotechnology Research and Development Agency was formed in 2001 by the federal government with the mission biotechnology research, deployment of research, and practicing the component of biotechnology to produce something that is going to transform Nigerian economy. And with that mission, the federal government has looked into 4 technical areas. 1, agricultural biotechnology section. 2, environmental biotechnology section. 3, medical biotechnology section. And the last one is industrial biotechnology section. These are 4 major areas which, when you combine them, they contribute heavily to the Nigerian economy. And in all these areas, biotechnology is applied. I will tell you in the agricultural sector, and I will not start with the crops that is controversial, but I will start with the animal improvement for milk and meat.
Okay.
And in that area, we have already started. And thank God, Mr. President have already now carved out a ministry, which is the Ministry of Livestock, and is very, very important. Very important. And we are now working hand in hand with the ministry to deploy usage of biotechnology in terms of improving our animals to produce more milk, more than what they are producing now, like 1 to 2 liters, but we have targeted like 15 to 20 liters per cow per day. And that is one thing that we have already started, and we have got calf over 50 as of last year, and then this year probably over 150.
How are you improving the yield?
It's by taking our own breed of animal and now breeding it with an animal that has already been improved. So we selected the one that is compatible with our own in Brazil. And we took Girolando and we superimposed with our own white Fulani cattle.
So Girelando, is it a genetically modified cow?
Is an improved genetically.
Okay.
Is an improved variety.
Okay.
And them too, they have done their own using Indian technology. So we see that Brazil, because we have very good relationship with them, and we see that they have similar features, similar characters, similar environment with our own cattle here, and they can easily be coupled together, and then we can get what we want. We have started and we are moving. What we started is not just the insemination. No, we have to follow the trait. What trait have they taken using genetic evaluation? And we have taken that into consideration to make sure that we got what we need. Because
so is it possible, because you say this has been done already?
We are in the process.
Is it possible that in our markets right now, we have local milk that is a product of white Fulani and Girelando?
You see, the issue is we are so much in haste in the country. This research is not something that you can now do it within 1 day or 2 days and it will work. You have to have an offspring. That offspring has to be evaluated and it has to grow to some certain level before it starts producing milk. Okay. So that is.
So it hasn't started producing milk
yet.
No.
We're in the
insemination stage.
Yeah, we have done that. We are just developing the calf. We are monitoring them. We are taking all the necessary data and the precautions. But now we are working with Ministry of Livestock to improve on that. And that is one area that we have already started digging, and then we are waiting within shortest possible to reach the water level so that we can start exploiting.
And the milk yield will be much more, moving from...
Much more. What we are having is
and
like...
no side effects? Nigerians shouldn't be worried about it?
No. Okay. Are you telling me all the milk that we are taking now has side effect? That is exactly the same.
The imported milk?
Oh, yes. The imported milk. It doesn't have
That's
side
true. We
effect.
don't know what cows they're coming
No,
from.
it's the same thing. It's the same thing what we are importing and what we are going to produce. You see, one thing that amazed me is that people in the country, they don't like producing their own. They want to get something from some other people. Do they ask how those people have developed their own? We should just try to stand up for ourselves. We should do things by ourselves. We should not wait until somebody do whatever he does in his country and bring it to our own country and we consume. No, we should not be nation of consumers. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is bringing that we have to do everything here in our country so that we develop our economy. And that is what we are doing. That is what we are moving into. And if you say we wait, we import the milk from either Netherlands, from Brazil, from India, that is, they have improved theirs. And why don't we do it ourselves?
The milk that we can get from white Fulani and Girelando, when we get to the stage where we start to improve our milk yield as a result of this crossbreeding, I want you to be able to get your thoughts on how long do you think this will take. Is this something that's going to last for a very long time?
It depends on the resources that is available. The resources, when it is available, we can inseminate like 1 million, depending on the availability of the resources. And we can now have like 500, 600, 900 calves, depending on our sexes of insemination. You understand? We can even do embryo transfer, which is okay. So we can do a lot of juggle with the science, but depending on the availability of resources.
So maybe in 5 years?
Well, maybe if we have targeted it well, 7 to 8 years, yes, we can have a very substantial result.
And this would also mean no more importation of milk?
Oh, definitely we will transform this country. That is very good shortcut to making sure that we stop the importation of milk. When I visited recently, I was privileged to accompany the minister when he's in the entourage of Mr. President in Brazil. We went there. In each and every sector is well organized, and they have started like us, but they have moved further. They have moved far into real economy using all this improved variety. And in this world, you cannot count a country that has developed using agriculture without putting Brazil. And Brazil, some years ago, they were just, I think they came here, they took some sample from us. So what they do is that they produce maize, which is genetically modified. They produce cotton, which is genetically modified. Beans, they don't normally use the beans that we use, but it's genetically modified. And they have been surviving on this. And they have been exporting into different countries around the globe. Likewise, Argentina, likewise, United States, and some other countries. They are using it as a business. What we are trying to do here in Nigeria is even to feed ourselves. Recently, when the Chinese ambassador visited the ministry, he was saying that just of recent, they have struggled to move out of hunger level, which means poverty level in that country is normal. And without sufficient food, you cannot move out your people from poverty. So we are trying to make food available into the country by deploying technology. We should not wait. Keep on using hoes, keep on using that long hoe and dig and then come and, we should pass that level. Yes, a lot of people were saying, yes, in our forefathers, during our forefathers, we used to select seed and keep it for next year to plant. Yes, nobody stopped you from there. But if you are using technology, if you are improving yourself, you should know that by the time you use science, you are going to increase the yield, you are going to protect yourself against insects, you are going to protect your crop from against drought. And without that, you cannot gain profit of the farming you are doing.
I think the fear, DG, is that the communication about, because everyone understands this. When it comes to cotton, for instance, the bollworm was killing our cotton industry here. And it was such a relief, when farmers who had abandoned the cotton business picked it up again and said, my plant is genetically modified and it is resistant to bollworm. And that's fine, because when we cotton, we're just wearing it. Where the issue comes is the one I'm eating, maize, cowpea. The question has always been, okay, if these are genetically modified, is there any side effect to it? Do I if I make tuwo with the maize that is genetically modified, am I poisoning myself? Those are the questions that people have.
Okay, Kayla, are you telling me you have not been eating genetically modified crops?
I think I have.
You have been eating it for years, even before we started deploying it for farmers to use. You have been eating it because the flour that you are eating, that is made here. You mean the corn that is being used to produce the flour is not imported? Where is it imported from? Brazil, Argentina, US. What are they farming? They are farming GMO. Long time ago. We are talking about Nigeria, not talking about those countries there. Because if you now travel, all you eat, your cornflakes, all these cereals that is made from GMO crops. Only few you will see that is made organic, but all those over the counter is made from GMO. It's just a code. They will just write a code there. And you eat, and you are healthy. It's only when you now bring it for your farmers to get out of poverty, to get out of that kind of primitive way of doing things, then a lot of people who are anti wanted Nigeria not to go out of poverty, that will now come and start talking that you should not expose your farmers to this kind of development. We should just get into our senses. We should understand that we are doing that to get out of poverty, to get out of hunger. Because when you produce, I'll give you another example, Kayla. Are you telling me there is nothing that you can think of if somebody can produce his crop from India, from Brazil, from Argentina, from China, to carry that, you add the money for shipping, for loading, for uploading, for custom duty, for whatever, and then bring it to Nigeria and sell it cheaper than our local farmer? That you should know they are using technology there. They are using improved variety. They are using GMO, and they produce it and they bring it here. And we are happy to consume. This is foreign thing. Did you ever ask how it is made? And then now our farmers are struggling with the olden days of producing crops. Olden days in such a way that they keep their crop and then they plant it and then it remains the same, or even it will now be low in terms of yield.
All right, DG, we do have to go on a short break. But when we come back, we'll be talking about consent. Because people have the right, don't they, to choose not to eat GMOs.
Of course.
So we're talking about the concept of consent to consume GMOs. And then, of course, public trust in our agencies and their ability to properly curate these crops and things so that we know what it is that we are doing as a country. So please, stay with us on Hard Copy. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Hard Copy right here on Channels Television. If you've just joined us, we are with Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, and we're expanding the GMO conversation. Thank you so much, Prof, for making out the time to be with us.
Thank you.
The question has always been with local markets, you know, and the consent of the Nigerian. If I know that the maize that my local market is selling is genetically modified, and I still don't have trust. I still have trust issues. As you know, a lot of Nigerians do. I still have trust. My pastor or my imam has told me one thing or the other about it. I'm still trying to understand.
Let me pick from that pastor and imam that you said, with due respect. I mean, I do respect our clerics, our imams. Yes. I do respect them. But you see, for those that we have interacted with, those learned people, they understand that you should ask those that are in the field. We should have professionalism in Nigeria. That is not what is obtained outside the country. But if we are to copy something, we copy everything. Because in each and every country, there is professionalism. And people respect professionalism. When they say, this is a professional, you respect that professionalism and you follow what the professional said. So if the imam is going to preach, or the pastor is going to preach, should now have a very renowned scientist that is working in the field, not scientist that is just coming to talk. Because in the scientific world, there are people with peer-reviewed journal that have worked in that area, that have got...
They should balance out their message.
Yes. So they should got that information from them, and then they can preach. But you go to hospital, the doctor says, this is what you are supposed to do. If you are in coma or whatever, do people argue with him? So why is it that when you now come to food, you start arguing? What I'm telling you is that some people are being sponsored to come and dismantle all the progress that we are achieving in this country. And let me tell you, they were talking about this science is not... Science nowadays is conglomerate. You pull people from around the globe, you work together and you provide result. It's not for one person. No, it's conglomerate of people, scientists coming together. And this research will take on years, like this maize. It takes years before it has been developed. And then in some countries, they have been using it. But we were trying to transfer the gene into our own local variety. The gene trait is being developed somewhere. And that gene trait, it will take years before you do the transformation in those countries. And people spend money.
You know, there was something the livestock minister said when he was here. He said, can you give me one person in Nigeria that you can attribute an illness that he or she has to consuming genetically modified organisms?
That is it.
And I want to be able to put that same question to you, because the rumors and the myths, it's rife out there. People just don't want to even hear about it.
Yes.
Is just a myth and a rumor? There's no one in your knowledge that has fallen ill in Nigeria as a result of genetically modified organisms?
There is none. There is none in Nigeria. There is none even outside Nigeria.
There's no link between GMOs and cancer?
No, there is none. If there is, I challenge any scientist in the country, either here or even any scientists that have done that research around the globe and have proved that positive. I challenge that person to bring it to you and come and bring those papers that is peer-reviewed and say these GMO are linked to cancer. That is a challenge. It is none in existence. Nothing like that.
So you see, people are being sponsored to pass this misinformation, this message out there. Why? To what end? Why do you think they're doing that?
You see, there are two things to my own understanding. One is a trade. Those people that are selling the crops, they are selling the seed, they are selling this commodity to us. They don't want to lose their market. Despite that, they are selling the GMO, but they don't want us to develop the GMO by ourselves. Because when we develop, we are not going to sell, we are not going to buy from them. And then in their countries, they will lose jobs, they will lose, the farmers will lose everything. Because they depend in Nigerian population, they depend on Nigerian population, over 200 million people. It's a big market.
Yeah.
And two, for those that are selling chemicals also, them, if you produce without using excessive chemicals, them too, they are going to lose. Because if you look at the tons of chemicals that is being imported into this country, it's huge. People even don't remember why their soil is being devastated. Because of the excessive use of chemicals.
That's such a great point. If I have a pest-resistant beans, I don't need to buy pesticides.
You don't need to buy pesticide, no. No. But people,
if I was a pesticide seller, I would not be happy.
Oh,
either.
definitely they'll fight. Then those are the people that are sponsoring. They are deploying huge amount of money to fight this so that we remain where we are, we remain market to them. So if we remain market to them, I mean, and with the help of some people in the country who do not understand this myth, they're helping them. And this is something that we should work towards limiting in our country or even eradicating in our country.
Modern agricultural technologies, including GMO seeds, can address climate change and low productivity. In concrete terms, I want you to tell me, what should Nigerians expect to see in the next 5 years? Those were your words.
To be honest with you, if we use technology, if we use scientific method and the scientific deliverables, we are going to be feeding ourselves in the next 5 years because our people are hardworking. If you see the way they are grabbing this maize, they are grabbing these beans, it's nowhere to be found in the market because it's not there. We are trying to recruit people, seed companies to start producing seed for our people. At the moment, that is what we are. The farmers, they know the value, so they are scrambling for it. They know the value. All this means that when you plant, you will not plant again. They know the value they are planting is not real, it's not true. So in the next 5 years, I'm assuring you that we'll almost achieve zero hunger level in our country.
Are you planning on, expanding GMOs into other crops in Nigeria? You just mentioned cowpea, maize, and cotton. Are we going to see in 5 years, maybe in other crops?
Yes, of course. We are working on soybean.
Okay.
Soybean. We have done like 4 years now on soybean. So we are trying to improve soybean, improve the quality of the oil, and improve the resistivity to some certain chemicals and so much more. So we are working on that in the next 3 to 4 years. We are hoping that we can have results.
In closing, just talk to the Nigerian people about genetically modified organisms and the things that they've been hearing and the fears that they've been carrying with them and all the messaging that they've been hearing. What should they know and expect from your office as regards the safety and trust for genetically modified organisms in Nigeria?
What I would like to start with is I want to assure Nigerians that these crops are safe. These crops are very safe to use. Either you eat or you use it as feed or whatever way you are going to use it. It's very safe to use. And all this maize, a lot of people are talking about, they've seen it, people developing this and that, is a lie. I want to tell people that all this is a lie. And if by themselves, I will give them assignment, let them go and search in Google, search for papers. If they are not scientists, give to scientists. If there is any credible paper that have taken a story that GMO cause one element or another, I think they should hold the agency responsible. We cannot bring something that is harmful to Nigerians. We can never do that because we are Nigerians. We eat from the same pot they are eating. We eat this from the same market. We buy from the same market they are buying. And we cannot dare to do something that is detrimental to Nigerian people. They should be rest assured that these GMO are safe. If they are not safe, we will tell them. The agency of National Biosafety Management Agency is there. It's a watchdog. They can easily tell people that there is something that they should be wary of, and we can easily withdraw whatever we see is dangerous to Nigerian people. We can easily block whatever is coming to Nigerian people as something that is dangerous. So we are telling you that GMO is safe, and what is being deployed in Nigerian market is safe. So let them be free their mind. And we are open in our agency for anybody who has question to come. We are ready to answer whatever question the person has. If you have question regarding the GMO, even beyond GMO, you come, we have one-on-one. I think that will make you to really be comfortable with what you are doing. And there is no compulsion in GMO at all. It's there to develop the nation. Nobody say, because they are saying, they say it's compulsory. No, it's not compulsory. There are so many other varieties that you can choose from.
Indeed.
So it's not compulsion that you dump something and then you use GMO. No, it's not like that.
All right.
It's based on the farmer to weigh which one is better, and based on the producer or the user of the crop to choose whichever he wants.
Thank you so much, Director General, Professor Abdullahi Mustafa, for being with us here on Hard Copy. And they will hold you to that promise.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's Hard Copy this week. I'm Kayla Magwa. Good night.